I'd rather be a failed entrepreneur than an average employee that never took a risk.
So here's my current situation: graduated
Didn't take
college.
a job. Decided to commit to the fast lane.
Started seriously 4 months ago.
Currently on track to bring in $10,000 in passive income. Here's my problem: my friends, family, and everyone around me keeps giving me crap. They keep telling me or insisting that I'm a failure for not getting a job, not going to grad school, etc.
Then, when I try to rationalize that I'm happy with where I'm at, and that I'm making progress, the response I get is that I'm delusional. A typical conversation goes like this: how's business going? Me, well, my current efforts are set to bring in about $10,000, so I'm hoping to scale that. Them, have you thought about getting a job? Me, yeah, but there's no
If I
point.
grow this to $60,000 in passive income within the next couple years, then I'll never have to work again. Them, but have you applied for jobs? You could have got a $50,000 job if you tried right
You
out
might
of
be
school.
able to get a $40,000 job now and not have to take on all that risk. What if you fail and waste 2 years? The worst is that my parents keep comparing me to my friends.
Peter got a job, and he's doing really well. You've always been better than Peter, and now you've wasted all your potential. I try not to have this get to me, but it's really hard when each week the people you care about bring you down. However, here's what keeps me going: I know, let's say I fail, and this all turns to
I'll
nothing.
be bummed and depressed, but to think of the opposite scenario, where I never tried, that seems even more
You can
depressing.
also waste years of your life in a job or in school learning about things which won't mean anything to you 5 years down the
The
road.
only way to shut them up is massive success, man. Use it as fuel to work that much harder. P.S. Number one regret of people on their deathbed.
I've struggled trying to make various business work, but reading your question made me remember why I keep
quit
doing
my
it.
job back in 2011 with about $10,000 in
For
the
the
bank.
next 2 years I started a few businesses and gave a half-assed effort. Once I ran out of the money, the thought of getting a job made getting hit by a car seem fun.
So I worked 14 to 16-hour days for about 9 months and took maybe 10 days
I lost
off.
money or broke even the entire time, until one day I woke up at 10 o'clock having made $3,000 in profit. I ended up making $6,700 that day, which was the most I had ever made in a day. Now the thought of having to work over 8 weeks at $20 per hour to make that amount makes a job seem
Since
even
then,
worse.
people have asked me why I don't go get a job, and my response has always been telling them this story. I'm not against having a job if that's what you need to do in order to stay afloat for the time being, but it's sure a crappy end goal. You may or may not want to do this because it involves lying to them, but you could say, why would I get a job when I made $20,000 last week?
Maybe not your parents, but it would probably shut your friends up and let you focus on your business without the
I
nagging.
liked your post, but wanted to clarify that most of these people mean well. They have good intentions, but just see things differently, which I guess is something I struggle with. Pushing forward gets difficult when everyone around you is saying
I
you're
assume
wrong.
it comes with the territory, but the thought that everyone else is right, and I'm wrong, that's scary.
The thought that I can be so misguided that I do the opposite when everyone sees what's actually happening, that's a fear that I live with. However, every time that this fear comes up, I sit down and look at the fundamentals.
Am I
1.
sticking to the process? 2. Am I giving it my all?
At this
3.
rate, am I on track to hit my goals? 4. Is this pain and fear today worth my potential success? And after that, I silence myself with more
Let's
work.
say you fail your first time around.
So what? You try it again.
I can't remember who it was, but I read a quote from an entrepreneur that went something like this: I started a business and it completely flopped.
The second one didn't do any better really and flopped. The third one did a little better than flopped again.
The fourth and fifth were quite a bit better than flopped again. The sixth one was PayPal. If you're determined enough, you can make anything happen. As for all the people around you, I think just about everyone on this forum has been in the same position.
Almost no one believes in you when you start out.
The fact that it gets to you says that you subconsciously don't believe in yourself, and their words are getting under your skin. Believe in yourself, because no one is going to do it for you. I've been called arrogant, egotistical, and stubborn by more than a few people, but one thing I will admit is that it helped get me to where I am now. Some of your friends and family may never change their opinion, but the closest ones to you likely will when they see you doing well.
When I realized that basically no one believed in me, I just stopped telling people what I was doing. If they suggested I should get a job, I would be like, yeah, I'll do that, and just go back to doing whatever I was doing.
Interestingly enough, lots of people who were initially skeptical became supportive of me. My mum, for example, even offered to lend me money for my ventures if I needed it, which even though I never took it, I still think it's kinda cool because she was initially skeptical. Some people though, and you can probably tell right off the bat who they are just going to be constant naysayers, and they'll tell you you can't do things not because they're trying to offer genuine advice, but because they straight up just don't want you to succeed, because it will force them to face the fact that they don't have the balls to attempt what you're doing.
I had a few friends like this, but I don't talk to them anymore because I really get nothing out of it.
My real friends will tell me when they think I'm full of shit, but they also acknowledge when I know what I'm talking about. Naysayers try to seem like they're just giving you helpful advice, but really they're hoping you fail miserably. Above all, be good to everyone.
Not because it's the nice thing to do, but because it empowers you and makes you a stronger person. Money isn't the only form of power in this world.
Well, I'm in the same situation right now, bro. I quit my job because I already have enough funds and know what to do.
My father is disappointed to me and he thinks I'm a failure because I didn't follow what he wants for me to have a great career in corporate world. My family believes in Slowlane philosophy and never started a business. That's why they are shocked that I want to be in business, and they always keep telling me, what do I know about business?
I don't blame them, and I know it will be painful for a while because they don't support me and they will only understand unless I prove to them.
Anyway, there's no going back. Failure or not, I'm happy because for the first time of my life I stick in my decision and never listen to anyone but myself. Good luck to you.
I haven't really had this conversation about entrepreneurship, but I have suggested stuff before I even got in here, and they shot it down telling me to get a real job since the age of 18. I used to make jewelry and sell it when I went to reggae festivals and other concerts.
That was in a grassy field in the middle of nowhere. In consignment shops, and dream catchers.
Fortunately, I was sent to the psychologist for him to tell me why I needed to have a real job. At 18 I could have taken off very easily as an entrepreneur. I had graphics and printing or jewelry or photography.
Instead I listened to that crap because everything was considered a hobby and pipe dreams. And today I could beat myself up for listening to people tell me it was more productive having a normal job, and if I could I would go back in time and rewrite that script and do the things I was good at. I watched all my friends turn what they called hobbies into businesses.
Guess where all my friends are at today? Perhaps not millionaires, but they are doing well and stuck it out from 18 until now. At that time I didn't know what an entrepreneur was, and the ones that did do it around me only did it halfway as a hobby and dropped the projects, or don't know what they're doing.
I can see that being in here. I used to do antique dealing as well, and why didn't I succeed?
The example of others around me were not doing it right to begin with, and I think that ticks me off. Ha ha.
It counts on who is influencing your life and if they know what they're doing in the first place. There was one point someone stated, "Why aren't you successful like everyone else?" And today I look at these people and ask, I wonder why that is.
Perhaps the wrong people telling me how to succeed without the right method or mindset. And I'm not blaming them for my choices.
I take full responsibility for this, but one thing I've learned is trust yourself and listen to yourself more than other people. Sure, I listen to some people in this forum because they have businesses that are succeeding. They're setting another type of example.
You have to remember your belief system and mindset is over their head.
Elaborated
MJ.
on sidewalk, slow lane, and fast lane for a reason. The game of life is played 3 different ways and strategies.
Different lifestyles, behaviors, habits, thinking, and doing. Their version of taking action is any job as long as you pay your bills and be responsible.
And in my experience you have 10 different people with 10 different directions you're supposed to be going at the same time. This is chaos and confusion and fear, so you can't think clearly and go in the right direction.
Everyone in the forum is clear-minded, or headed there. They think for themselves instead of being influenced by others' thinking. And for those naysayers, well, they never know when to stop.
And I agree about them hoping you don't make it. They like having control of the situation and supervising you around.
You have more control when they're not in control of the situation or circumstances. Whether you make it or not from point of view, I did it their way most of my life.
History says, I'm going to fail doing it their way, and I suppose I'm skeptical of their choices now just from what I've learned. Even the successful ones I knew influencing the situation were nice people that feed you, but they didn't teach me to fish, and sell fishing poles, or scale fishing poles.
Complete strangers did. So, there's something wrong with this mindset if you're slow lane and have the mindset of telling someone to get a sidewalk job and be successful.
I suppose they're unaware of what they're doing, but it never made any sense, and still doesn't today. I have to agree with this statement. There aren't many people that have the balls really succeed, and their version of success is not success by any means.
I followed the same path after college. Stuck to my fast lane plan and have been doing it full time for 6 months already. Number 1. Do not care what anyone else thinks or says about your fast lane plan.
This is your life, not theirs. If they don't get it, tough shit. In 10 years they will still hate their jobs that they have to go to every single day.
Number 2. Welcome to the real world of entrepreneurship. This is where most people give up and dive for the safety net called a 9-to-5. Change the circles that you run
I've done
with.
the same and started surrounding myself with people that are business-oriented and actually understand entrepreneurship. You would be amazed how your business changes
Your
as well.
response should be, fine, thanks. How are you doing
My
today?
wife once said I don't want to be a part of your internet scams.
Well, the internet is full of them, and depending on your track record, she might be in the ballpark. You have the talent. You have the drive. You have what it takes to get there.
The only question that remains is how long will it take? Your story saddens me how parents can be so consumed by mainstream dogma that they're willing to destroy their kids' dreams.
Carrot this carrot and this even more good for you. I found this short video interesting and helpful. Just follow your dreams. Don't give a damn about what somebody want to say about you, because at the end of the day it's your life, and if you follow another person's advice and get a job as you look around you're 40 and have 2 kids and miserable marriage due to financial reasons, and at the end of the day you are going to look back and say, if I did know I would start that business and I would be in the Caribbean on a beautiful island drinking pina colada with your beautiful wife and kids.
So follow your dreams and the money will come.
As they always say, our mind is like a mine. Some people dig and find gold, while the others dig and find
Don't be
coal.
the coal miner.
Don't believe me. Just unfortunately, many entrepreneurs have to deal with this from family and friends. You have to decide how you deal with it. Does it motivate you or make you give up? My mother-in-law has been giving me a hard time for 5+ years about my eBay business. That is exactly what she says, your quote business. Both my mother-in-law and father-in-law have no idea how to handle money, let alone run a business, but yet they feel the need to poke fun at my business any chance they get. Over Christmas my father-in-law asked me how much was the most I had spent at a time on inventory. I told him $2,000. I have actually spent over $30,000 at a time multiple times. He proceeded to tell me how I was taking way too big of a risk. $2,000 is a big risk. He is in his 60s working as a cleaner at a big box store and will have to work until he dies. My stupid little business? I made a $30,000 profit last month. Use the doubters to propel you to new highs. 100x this. I used to say yeah. Profits are coming in. Now time to scale. Big mistake. I guess there's no point in arguing with slow lane parents. I'll just have to do what I need to do.
This is too real. I get the same exact thing. It's starting to wear me out.
I try not to talk about it much, but parents obviously know what I am doing.
They keep telling me it won't work. Just get a job. Every time I experiment with something and fail, my mom would always come up to me and say, told you that didn't work, it's not going to sell. Stop
when
wasting money.
When she says something like this, it's a reinforcement to my brain telling me it's not going to work, and she is right. This causes a lot of self-doubt inside of me. When sales aren't coming in, I would start to question myself whether this is going to work or not.
Then I would get all depressed again. But when I come on this forum and read stuff like this, it feels comforting knowing that like-minded people are going through the same struggle.
Failing only gives you experience. More knowledge the better. I understand exactly where you're coming from. My parents support me for now, but I wonder what they'll be telling me when I'm still working on a business, not making much money, and quit my job. One thing that stood out to me was that you have wasted your degree by not getting a job.
This makes absolutely no sense to me. Where is your degree going? You will always have that degree.
You should always be able to fall back on that degree when things get rough if necessary. Jobs will always be out there. It's not like they, or your degree, are going somewhere.
This is only one life. Only one chance. By working for someone will never fulfill your dreams. It might put you in comfort zone.
And that's exactly why you will be working all your life, as you will be knitting the web of responsibilities around you, and that will make you even more difficult to take risks.
It's hard work initially, but the rewards are big. Not only with money, also with the most important, and that is time. That is the biggest wealth you can achieve.
It's normal actually. I'm also in the same boat as you. Yeah, I'm fighting and going all out for my dreams. Let's keep swimming.
Every entrepreneur gets the same response. You are taking huge risk. Billy from your school has got married and driving a Mercedes, blah blah blah. Don't pay any attention to their slow lane philosophy and deep enlightenment that comes with 9-to-5 job.
Keeping working hard, and one day they will be amazed by your...
Okay, so I posted my goofy meme response. Here's a real one. This is my inbox. Cynthia is my mom. Every partially black female is a position opening in a variety of different fields. I get a minimum of 20 a week from her. If you're from a good home, your parents love you. I take a bullet for my mom, but it's hard to snap out of a mindset that's been ingrained for a long time.
My brother and sister have pensions and health benefits and leave the house to work. I don't, and I usually don't. And that causes a lot of worry.
It's also hard for them when the definition of success is different. Like said, if Billy has a house and a Mercedes, he's successful. If you don't, you're not. Parents will worry.
Appreciate it as a sign of concern, and move on. Projecting calm and confidence goes a long way too. If you're not worried, they won't worry.
Look at it as an advantage. With so many being pulled back into the lobster tank, there is less competition. You don't need their support.
You need to figure out what product or service they need and provide it to them. Then they will talk about what you do until the cows come home.
Awesome, postman. Your thread is very inspiring. Your post reminds me of the time someone asked how much I paid for my last order.
I told them to guess, and their guess was $3,000. The look on their face when I said $13,000 was priceless.
Billy lives his life for a weekend, is up to his eyeballs in debt, and because he has the house or Mercedes, he's successful. And the guy with a 10-year-old Honda has no debt and owns every single day of his life. He's, well, a hippie. Kinda reminds me of Slowlane-your.
Do I know much? But what I know is this: the entrepreneurial journey is like walking through a dark tunnel filled with people who aren't going nowhere.
The light is at the end. The people are many. The only way to walk through the tunnel is when you close your eyes and open your mind.
This helps me stop seeing the people and start keeping the faith. I guess we all started with seeing the light, not with our bare eyes. We started without knowing the hows to anything.
I strongly believe that's the only way to continue. I like to shut my eyes so I don't get to see them, even if I love most of them. So I can open my mind to see what's more important. I'll prefer to go against the world than to be poor or mediocre.
My story is a bit different because my first online business turned out to be successful.
I was a passenger earning nice money. The owner changed rules after 3 months, but I managed to earn money. I would have to work for 2 years earning the minimum wage.
And that happened exactly 3 months before my graduation from Technical University. At that time I thought that earning money cannot be simpler.
I was laughing when someone suggested that I should get a job and do business part-time. Because I succeeded, my parents and my fiancé, currently wife, tolerated my new ideas.
And 1,5 years later I had no money, no job, no idea for the next business. It turned out that MLMs and other internet investments are not the way I should follow. It hurt like hell.
The turning point was when my wife said that she really believed in me and supported me, but now she does not feel safe with me.
That was like a cold shower. I am currently working 9 to 5, but my goal is not to pursue the career in IT. The idea of Fastlane is all the time in my head, and I have enough discipline to spend my free time more efficiently.
I realized the meaning of the word responsibility when my son was born a few months ago. I know that I have to work hard part-time to start the business that would allow me to make the living for my family. What is really important is that my wife understands the idea of passive income, and if I start the business that seems promising, She is going to support me. Why the 9-to-5 job is not a bad idea. You have to tolerate some people that you do not really like. Someone else decides when you are working 24 or 7 or 365. Support. Someone else decides when you can go on vacation. You have to spend 1 to 2 years to start earning 20% more, and so on and so on. If you have a proper mindset, it can be good motivation to work hard during your free time. That's beyond acceptable. Your time is limited and it's yours alone to choose how you spend it. All people have to live their own lives and live with their choices. You're the one who's going to have to deal with the choices you make. So do what will help you be where you want to be. Become what you want to become. Besides, they aren't attacking you. They are just by dismissing your choices. Not to be super pessimistic, but the truth is inside, on a deep level. Nobody cares about your ambitions, dreams, etc. They only care about themselves. And that's normal. We all as humans are hardwired to be self-preserving. Just got to realize that and stop letting other people's beliefs and mindsets affect yours.
Can't please everyone, 7 billion people out there. Some will like you, some won't. Some will approve, some won't. It's life. Find the like-minded ones and hang with them. My 2C.
That is the point. You never win with them because they know everything they don't know.
I think this one can become another trigger
Dominance
point.
dismisses your existence, and through their constant nagging and disapproval when you're around them all the time, as you become filled with self-doubt and chaos and confusion.
It's basically belief systems clashing and not knowing why. The mindsets are completely different and you start questioning everything you know, and what I used to do was look at the answers and know I was right, but couldn't figure it out, and then you understand it's the personality, beliefs, and mindset that clashes, and it can be to the point where they hate everything you are, and it doesn't feel real nice when you're in the middle of it.
And setting boundaries and standing up for your dream is a huge must.
It really depends on how dominant and controlling the parent is, and then it can get real extreme. It's best just to get out of the situation and do your thing if it's too bad, and leave them out of it.
Great short film. Relevant to this thread.
I really have to say the mentality in this forum is awesome. I'm feeling like only winners post here. This is great. I wished I would discovered this
Failure
sooner.
is not an option. Focus on what you want to do. True communication only takes place among equals.
And as sad as it might be, financially speaking, you and your family and friends are not equals anymore. You chose the higher financial path. Just say FCK, which isn't easy, considering the difficulty of pronouncing an asterisk and baffle them with bullshit.
That's what they get fed by TPTB anyway, so they're used to it. My old mentor used to tell a joke: everyone has a price for their precious little time on this planet. You just choose yours. Your family chose theirs. Good on
Very
them.
inspiring article sent from my iPhone using
I
tabletop.
read few of your posts and you have great understanding behind people's psychology. Thanks for the knowledge, Maddie.
Everyone, people without successful business endeavors here should consider the idea of working a slow lane job and working on a fast lane project at the same time.
If you find a slow lane job that you can do personal work at, you can be making money while getting ready to springboard into an entrepreneurial endeavor.
Plus, the job will give you motivation to succeed. Use your fast lane aspirations as an for laziness.
It's a very scary thought, even if somewhat incomplete. I certainly agree. It worries me to a far greater extent. What if is the case? Now, that is a scary notion. You may be wrong, they may be wrong, or all of you may be wrong.
Alright. It's a matter of perspective. However, there is an important truth in all of it, or that's all there is to it.
Wealth isn't made from opinions, it's made from action. For all you know, you may be wrong in doing what you are doing. Still, doing it will make you money.
Late to the game here, but some simple advice I've learned to accept: it's just absolutely not for either of you. When friends ask how your business is doing, yeah, it's going great, thanks. When people ask how much you make, or what sort of sales the business is generating monthly, we're doing pretty good. It keeps growing, thanks. When your parents ask when you're going to buy a house, or Mercedes and settle down, I'm working on it, guys, thanks for checking in. It sounds defensive and perhaps even mean-spirited, but just don't engage them. You'll have your turn in the sun. Favorited: I'm going to tell my grandkids that one day I can relate to that feeling. Even people that I really love tell me such things. But I stopped giving a FCK from their reality. I can understand them. They want the best for me. But actually I do the best for me. Good luck, my friend. So take this point and view it without the possibility of being wrong. Take out the idea that it is right or wrong. This concept has been drilled into us since we were little.
You are correct that it is all a matter of perspective. Make it an experience, not a judgment. Do what you are driven to do. Enjoy the results without judging them.
That's so true. You know, even Elon Musk said that when you're starting a business you're always wrong because there's a lot of uncertainty and so many things that happen that can affect your business.
What you have to do as an entrepreneur is to be less wrong, by going at it and trying it out, and as time goes by and you fail and you learn more about your market and business and you begin to position yourself in the marketplace by talking to your customers, finding out what their pain points are and how you can adapt to that, and learn more about other important elements about your business, you are going to see that you are now more confident about your idea than last week, last month and last year.